So I've shifted my mindset recently to focus on my personal brand before the business's brand. And I want to go deeper into that because I think there's a place for every founder and business owner to put their personal brand first before the growth of their business brand. If you're new here, we're 2Times Creative. We are a content production business based in Melbourne, Australia, and we are here to help you dominate content creation while we do the same damn thing. Darren.
Yes, Michael. That was a good intro. I'm very fascinated with what you are referring to this when you say you were putting your personal brand over us.
You like that?
No, that's good.
It's got your attention.
It actually does, but it's basically just telling me you've become a bit more selfish in 2025.
No,
but
so
please spill.
So I phrase it like that because it's true. I'm not lying. But when we started 2Times Creative, and for those who aren't aware, I'm in the business full time. Darren is not. He's got a full time job. He's a busy boy. So I started to think about this year. I put myself on the other shoes of following a content production business on Instagram. And I was real with myself. I'm not really interested in following another content production business. I'm interested in following the person behind the content production business.
Yes.
And then I realized, am I really utilizing my personal brand that much? I sort of just post things here and there. This was last year. Post things here and there, but there's no real strategy behind it. So I wanted to start treating my personal brand like a client of 2Times Creative. Bit ironic.
No, it's good. I like the way you phrase that.
Because for the growth and to maximize my potential and our potential, and it would be the same if you were in the business full time, I think the first step to 2Times Creative is ironically the growth of our personal brands.
I agree.
And I think we knew that, but then I wasn't acting like it.
And it's probably that thing where you get in your head where you're just like, no, it should be business first. But like you said,
that still is business. Sorry to cut you off. That still is business first in the weird way.
No, it is, because if you build your brand and let's just make a random example. If you go viral on your personal account, guess what? People are going to find out what you are linked to, what your businesses are. So in theory, anything you do in your personal brand is still working on 2Times Creative, the brand. But I really like it because, as you mentioned at the start, I am 100% more likely to follow a brand, follow a person, download an app if you see the person, not the business logo. Like you want to buy off them, you relate to them.
Yeah. And I think that was just the sort of, I'm not going to say it was a sort of awakening moment, but it
bit
was,
of one.
It was more like it's fine for the 2Times Creative brand to sort of be there as the main sort of website portfolio that people go to, because naturally what I'm posting, there's still going to be some collaboration posts with 2Times Creative, but the main focus for me is my personal brand. So I thought it'd be fun to dive a bit deeper into how I'm
how are you doing it? What's your focus?
So I wanted a way to keep myself. What me and you share is our love for personal development and wanting to constantly learn and get better. So what at the heart of it, what do I want to always get better at and be sort of the premium of the premium? And I chose, just going to choose anything. It's creating better videos. So I wanted my whole personal brand on Instagram to sort of, yes, content overall, and it's not too niche on videos, but it's finding a way to constantly get better at creating videos. So how do I do that? You make videos on creating better videos. Because, and I know a lot of people have this sort of tactic. It's like the old thing, like the best way to get better at something yourself is by teaching others.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
And
also, I'm just going to quickly cut on there. You don't know how much you know about a certain topic until you do teach it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like a fascinating, not like a journey to make yourself feel better, but once you're actually doing it, you're like, I actually know this really well. And and also you probably find a different level of passion as well for that topic.
Yeah. And also how little you know.
Oh, you've dumbfounded me.
No. As in, like, you know a lot.
Well, true. There's so much more to learn. Yeah.
Because if I'm constantly treating myself like a client, then I've got to make videos on certain things. And, of course, I'm learning new things as I do it. So
actually, that's a good point, because you probably cover a topic where you're just like, I want to explain this, but I actually don't know exactly how to explain it. So then you find more knowledge and you actually research more to be able to explain it better.
And I've already done that multiple times. So I've made some Premiere Pro like workflow or tips, and I didn't quite know what I was teaching, like it was almost like the full advantages of that. So by doing it, I'm like, I actually like learned a few things myself, and I'm like, there you go. That just proves what I'm doing.
You've actually taught me stuff already. Like you've made a few of these, I'm going to call them tutorial-esque videos, but they're quick and like they look good as well, which always helps. But you've actually taught me some stuff because I'm so used to my workflow, but we don't.
Yeah.
We still bounce ideas off each other, but we're not going to be like, hey, what is your Premiere
Shortcut.
template? Yeah, what does your shortcuts look exactly like? And then some of the stuff you've put up, I'm like, that actually makes a ton more sense in terms of like workflow and efficiency. So the more people you help, the more people that can relate to you, and the more people. And I told you to put on TikTok as well, because people are very active in that community in terms of just, I feel like TikTok has a different type of learning culture over there on a different side of it. But I'm getting tangent on TikTok.
No,
but,
because I did, and
Yeah.
it straight away showed. Like I think it's already gone up to like 100+ followers based on I just uploaded all my Instagram ones. So good tip by Darren.
So I want to ask you, how are you actually doing this in terms of, so you've brought this to the table. You said you're going to focus on your personal brand, but what does that mean in terms of, I don't know, if you had a percentage split of producing content for, it's difficult because 2 times creative, you obviously have clients and you obviously have workflow, but like, do you have a goal in mind in terms of I'm putting 2 videos up per week on my personal brand? Like, do you have any of that stuff?
No, I was gonna say, ask me that. That's good.
I just did.
No, because I thought you were gonna sort of like, you know how sometimes people ask a question and then they avoid asking it directly. Like if in this case it might be like, how many posts are you aiming for a week? But you might explain it. But yeah, so
that's a sign of a good. I like listening to podcasts and content like that. Be more direct. You don't have to ramble as much.
Yeah.
I ramble a bit sometimes. Sometimes it's just like, what are your goals every week?
Yeah,
Much more effective.
I like that. And then you let me speak instead of cutting me off.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. No, I don't have a set. And the same with 2 times creative Instagram. I don't have a set number of posts. I think in my content calendar, anywhere between 2 and 5, which is like quite broad. But if I'm consistently going 2 and 5, or between 2 and 5 posts per week, then I'm happy. But now for my personal brand, I'd love if I was getting a good 2 or 3 videos per week.
Yep.
And that might be a crossover of 2 times creative, because obviously with creating better videos, I want there to be more natural overlap into the work I'm doing in the business. So like talking about techniques or strategies and showing B-roll from a shoot I had with the Melbourne Vixens or the netball, like showing actual things that I'm already doing to show me not just sitting at my desk talking about it, just showing what I've actually filmed that week. So if I had 2 or 3 videos, high quality videos every week, I'd be happy. And then 2 times creative if that meant 2 posts per week, something like that.
Yeah.
It varies. And I transparently speaking, I don't dive too much into that, because as long as I'm consistent with something, like a benchmark of consistency, whatever that means to you, I'm happy. I'm not going to hold myself to 4 videos per week, and if not, I'm going to crack the shits and think I'm a shit business owner.
I was going to say, it's definitely positives and negatives to having specific set goals of content you want to post like each week. Like some people might work perfectly, but some people that might be like you said, if you don't meet those targets, you're going to be like, well, I feel worse about myself. Or you might just rush content that's actually not beneficial to you or your business as well.
Yeah. So the next part to this, Darren, is I think it's a real sort of, and I think you would agree with this, and I'm keen to hear your thoughts, but I think no matter what industry you're in, is particularly if you're just starting a new business or a new brand, I fully believe that you should be focusing on your personal brand before trying to build up your company's brand, social media. So I think no matter what you do, everybody should have a personal brand, and it's not for everyone. Sorry, it's not the most comfortable for everyone, but the point of this video is I honestly do think to get the most out of yourself in the business, you should be focusing on your personal brand in 2025.
No, I love it. And that looks different for everyone. Like having a personal brand doesn't mean you have to jump on camera. I think if we were to tell people to start like to focus on your personal, definitely be on camera because people can relate to you. But if that's not comfortable, you can do certain things. Like you can just post pictures of behind the scenes and stuff like that. Personal branding isn't like, hey, I'm going to post a reel of me talking to a camera every year. Maybe it is every year, every day.
That is consistent.
Yeah, that is consistent. But
one a year.
It looks different for everyone. So don't be like freaked out if someone's like, you need to focus on your personal brand, and you're like, I don't want to talk on camera every day. It looks different, but we can help.
Yeah, and I'd push you if you had that mindset. Well, do you really care about the growth of your business? Because as we said, and you should, if you don't agree, let us know. But you connect with the person behind the business, so
it helps a ton.
It helps. It's the one thing that can truly elevate what you're trying to do. Because if nobody connects with the logo, I'm telling you, if you don't know, unless they're like Nikes now, but you connect with people because they go behind athletes, like that Nike is athletes, like you connect with a person in some form, and it might not be one person, but if there is no person in some way, shape, or form, then you're not connecting with them.
It's also the one way to stand out. Like we talk about comparison, we talk about if you're a graphic design company, so and so over the street is going to have equally as good graphics as you will, but nobody can replicate yourself, and people will buy off the person. So if you are behind the designs being like, I thought this is what I thought, this is what the client wanted, and this is what I produced, people will be like, damn, that guy's really funny, or that guy's really quirky, really weird. But that's how you stand out.
Yeah, and that's why personal brands are so good, because you can show your personality in them, whereas you're probably wondering, how do I show a personality behind a logo? Yeah, it's bloody hard.
Definitely. I think the more you show your face, the more better in... I just think, like, we're aligned here. I think that's definitely the way to really build your business, because it's personal over business to begin with, which it's all the same at the end of the day, but yeah.
I'm going to give you a final cherry on top to round this one off.
Great.
You're worried about content ideas and what to post. What should I post? What do I make content about? Well, the beauty about focusing on your personal brand first is what's in this guy. You just post what you're thinking about, your thoughts.
Yeah, not a whole lot.
Yeah, you're going to struggle if not a lot's going up in there. But my point is, content ideas are far easier for a personal brand than a logo or a company, because you don't have to have this persona, or you don't have to have this thought of how should that come across, because it's you.
Yeah.
Say what you're thinking, have your thoughts, write them down, and create content about it. But I hope that was useful. I think it's a really good sort of eye-opening moment for me, that I wasn't totally doing what we were preaching, and it's a really, really powerful tool. So I think I'd encourage everyone to focus on your personal brand first, and that's going to elevate and maximize your business in the long term and short term.